Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 394. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinside.
Oh, yeah.
And
I heard my last name, but it's all good.
Oh, did it join a little? Sorry. And
Yeah.
Tony Kokonakis.
Yo.
I've had some bizarre wireless issues in this house today, so my Alexa thing is not cancel. Is not working.
Belay that order. Belay that order.
Man, I don't even know what I was about to order right there. So yeah, obviously not really responding too well. And my lights are all done through that, so it's been kind of laggy. But we'll try it and see how it goes. I'm recording on my side, so I'll be okay.
Yeah, should be fine.
Yeah. So, anyways, welcome listeners and viewers to episode 394 of our Moviecast. Man, it's 1 week later. The number one movie in America is still the number one movie in America. At a 56.3% drop in Overboard, right? Oh, no, I misreported that one. No, Avengers Infinity War, obviously, at number one, doing $114.8 million. Breaking records. Mm-hmm. Smashing records, actually. Everywhere it opens, it seems to smash the record. So, like, it just opened in Russia. It just smashed the opening day record in Russia.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they show movies in Russia.
No, apparently they do. And they don't have to do didn't last time Russia do some weird faux Avengers movie that mock it or something like that? I can't remember, but
Probably.
Yeah. Anyways, it hasn't opened in China yet. And that's projected to beat Fast 8. So that'll be the number one movie if it does that. 200 million is what it's looking for. Foregone conclusion, by the way, this movie's going to do $2 billion. Just by the way the percentages work, it's going to clear.
$2 billion, Jim. Hold on. Would that be up or down?
Oh, good thing. It's funny you mentioned that, Tony. I think that would be up.
I think that would be up as well.
Yeah. Now, the comeback to this will be there's nothing going to match this. Right, Mike?
It's all downhill from here, guys.
Again, I don't know why we're still bringing this up. I already said a trend doesn't mean it lasts forever. It was down, and they're been up lately.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we didn't report it last week, but James Cameron said he wished the superhero genre would die out. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, a lot of, the old heads are like, this is bad for the industry.
Yeah.
And, like, there's an element to it I see, but who cares? It'll take care of itself when it needs to.
Fuck James Cameron. Maybe he should make a movie more often than every 10 years.
Yeah. Or, like, maybe try stop doing two at once and just finish one right now. And, you know what I mean?
Well, the most ridiculous thing was his article, the interview, whatever. It was like, just there's other stories to tell in sci-fi, blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing. It's like, bro, you're working on Avatar 2, 3, 4, and like 5 or some shit. Shut the fuck up.
And a Terminator reboot.
Yeah.
Not to mention Avatar wasn't really all that original the first time it was out.
Yeah.
No, it was fucking Fern Gully. It was expensive ass CGI in 3D. Like, bro, I get it. Like, he rode the new technology wave.
Yeah,
but I have serious doubts that people are going to care about Avatar 2 like a decade
just
later.
because it's so much later.
I don't see
it. Yeah, I agree.
It definitely is past its
Avatar, Avatar, downward trending.
Oh, I think we all agree on this one.
Yeah, I think we could all agree on that. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't see people caring about that.
I agree.
Outside of like occasional Reddit or gaff threads, like I don't see Avatar being talked about at all. Nobody cares about the I can't even name like 3 of the main characters.
Gamora.
Wait.
No, like the actual names of the characters. Yes, I know Gamora's in it.
I forgot she was in that.
I know Sigourney
I just
Weaver.
know that it's called like Pandora, right? And then it's like unobtainium.
Yes.
Possibly the worst
It's the best worst
fictional
name.
item ever.
It's the best worst name.
They had to settle on that somehow, and I'm thinking they just threw darts, and whatever it landed on was what the word they were going with.
No, it shows like no respect for your audience. It's like, oh, this is like a word normal people won't know, so we can use it. It's like, no. It's not like adamantium, where like that's like some Greek reference. Like that's a good fake word.
It very much reminds me of gravitonium from S.H.I.E.L.D. Like I hate that name. I hate gravitonium in S.H.I.E.L.D. So
I think unobtainium is way worse than gravitonium.
I'm not saying it's not worse. I'm just saying that reminds me of unobtainium. It really does.
Well, I like that gravitonium makes sense because it has to deal with gravity. Unobtainium makes no sense because
But it's unattainable.
But it's not. because they're getting it.
Yeah, because they're getting
All right. Let's see. Number 2 is Overboard. 3 was Quiet Place. I Feel Pretty at 4, and Rampage at 5.
What are
Quiet Place is hanging in there.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
cool.
It is. I don't know what these movies are. Like, it's not really. It's not really important. It's everything's clear the board for Infinity War, which is now obviously the fastest movie to make $1 billion. That happened earlier yesterday, I believe.
11 days?
Or no, yesterday. It was happening on Saturday, I believe. Didn't it?
Yeah, 11 days.
11
That's
days.
without China.
Yeah,
If
that's
China
without
was
China.
included.
Yeah, it would have shattered records.
Yeah, son.
I think they're going to try that for the next Avengers.
Worldwide
Get China.
wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Worldwide opening.
Yeah.
Just to try to blow up their own number.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't see anything beating this. I don't.
I mean, it's already the highest grossing
said
worldwide.
that about the last
weekend
Avengers,
as well.
and then Lost World came along.
Out.
I know Lost World, that shocked the world. I mean, that really did. It really. I don't see the sequel doing that, but
No, I
that's
think it's gonna be something else that's out of left field.
I think that the hype for Jurassic World 2 is just not nearly there. I just don't see it. It doesn't look great. Does it look interesting for people?
I'm not interested in the premise at
Well,
all.
Yeah.
I didn't think the last movie was that good, so that
I liked the
Doesn't
last
help.
one. I did. I
I
felt
like the last one
yeah.
just because it was a long time since we got a Jurassic Park movie, and I was ready for dinosaurs, so I was excited for it. But this one, the premise of it just sounds awful.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
going back again.
It reminds me of 2.
Well, not even that. It's like because it's not that. It's trying to weaponize the dinosaurs, and it's like you
that was
really.
kind of half of the storyline from the second half of that movie.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah.
No, I mean they were trying to like make the scariest, greatest new thing, but then that, Kingpin guy wanted to weaponize them. But this is like they're actually going to weaponize them here or something and bring them off the island for that. It's just stupid.
I mean, I don't particularly care about it. I'll see it because of Movie Pass. But I mean, I enjoy that it's something else. Talking back to our
And that's what I'm saying. That
thing.
first one was like fun popcorn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the first one, the fourth.
Yeah.
I'm just I don't know. I think they're trying too hard to make a lot of the dinosaurs like sympathetic now, and you don't know if you're supposed to like
Root for them?
yeah because it's sort of weird because you think of the first
just
movie,
animals
it's like a
living their
horror.
lives, man. Come on.
I
And
know
then you
that.
create this abomination of like hybrid stuff,
But
it doesn't know what it's doing.
Yeah, I know that the abomination is to make him less sympathetic. I feel like
Right. But at the same time, like it's like, oh, I feel bad for this thing because it wasn't born
it's
into
all
it.
it's all the humans' fault now.
Yeah. Anyways, back to Avengers. It has another week of uncontested running here with their great idea of moving it up a week. That was an excellent move. Gives them another week of probably a 50% drop where it can set more records again.
I mean,
and
it could easily do 70.
yeah, it could. I mean, I think it'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah.
That's
But,
that's
depending on
40%, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it could. It's what I'm saying. It could. Like, what else is coming out?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Depending on how the holds go once Deadpool 2 is released, and obviously Solo, could reach 700 domestic, and depending on how it does in China, even with like low-end expectations after its opening weekend, this movie has a fair shot at getting $2 billion.
Yeah, I think it will. I think
ridiculous.
it will make $2 billion, depending on. I think Deadpool's the next. I mean, we'll see how good that movie is, how strong it is when it opens. So we'll. That'll be the big. That'll tell us. I think Solo is going to be Solo. Star Wars opens and then drops. So that kind of a movie, the anthology movies, or the anthologies that we call those, the side stories.
it's a side story.
Yeah.
A Star Wars story.
A Star Wars story. Yeah. So okay. All right. Let's see movie news here.
Rogue One did all right. So.
Yeah, it did. It had a great first week. It had a good box office, I think, in general.
That's what I'm saying. It did all
It
right.
was pretty good. Yeah.
Corey, you and I have a bet for that. So
I know. I feel pretty good about it.
inflation kind of helps you, but yes, I stand by my statement.
I said 130, and you were saying no. I'll go to the 109 or whatever. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I mean, inflation's a little bit of it, but it's I don't know.
Yeah.
Not that much.
I mean, I really think I'll be seeing Solo anyways right away, so I'll be hurting myself. But
Yeah, no, I mean, I would have liked to have gone to that. They have the AMC has that special showing or whatever where you get like the dice. That would
yeah,
be cool.
that'd been cool.
Those are sold out though.
Yeah.
I'm so torn about the whole concept because I think Han Solo is like one of my favorite characters, but again, like, is this gonna be him?
I don't know. I mean, my plan for
you gotta
this?
find out. You gotta go see it, Mike, to see.
I don't know if that's a good reason to go see it, like automatically.
My plan for this is like I'm gonna go to the dine-in so I can have a beer with it and kind of just relax and enjoy it. I think that way, rather than go to an actual theater. Like it's a different experience at the dine-ins because it's like you can't really get fully immersed.
I don't know if I agree with that statement that much, but that's okay.
I think it is.
Mike is.
It feels the same. You're still going to a movie.
Here we go.
So hold on, we just went over how like we don't know if Solo is going to be a good viewing of a young Han Solo. But didn't you guys watch what's that shitty Batman TV show that's on right now? Gotham.
I watched Gotham.
Yeah.
I watched Gotham the first season, gave up on it.
Yeah. So
I haven't given up on it yet.
Yeah.
Never.
I'm excited for Solo. I think probably more than any of you guys here.
I'm pretty excited though, Corey. Like actually,
I'm ho-hum on it.
Yeah.
Like you guys love Star Wars more than I do.
Secretly,
I mean, I like Star Wars, but
I mean, letting everybody hear in the little secret, I hope it's really good. I just don't think it will be, but I hope it's really good.
Apparently the testings are going real well. They previewed it 2 weeks out.
Like I want it to be a fun heist movie. I think that'd be great.
They're talking about the box office like pre-sales already. Like,
yeah, being number
anything about Deadpool's box office pre-sales.
Yeah, we'll
It's
see what Deadpool's a wild card. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, we just got something in the news where it doubled Black Panther's pre-sales.
Yeah.
Black Panther's now the bar apparently. Like, if you just compare everything to Black Panther.
It should be though. With that kind of hold that Black Panther had, I mean, it's the bar. It is the bar.
It's crazy as Black Panther is still in theaters and the Blu-ray comes out next week.
Yeah.
No, it comes out today.
It comes out today. The digital
comes out today?
Digital came out today.
Oh, the digital.
Digital. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't pay attention to physical anymore, so I don't know I don't know. I just know it's like out today.
Yeah. I got the email about it. So let's see. What do we have in movie news? Adam Warlock is not going to be in Avengers 4.
Honestly, who thought he was going to be in Avengers 4? Okay. Well, I should have made a bet with you then.
It's.
I would have probably bet you, Corey. I would have.
Yeah.
I'm sort of sick of all these.
I just really think that Captain Marvel's taking his spot in.
Yeah, I guess. I just, you know what's funny is I
all
started.
we know of is
But wasn't that a direct reference to him at the end?
Of
Spoiler
Guardians.
alert of Guardians 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then they're not going to use that, or is that Captain Marvel in there?
No,
it's Adam Warlock, but I think that was done for the Guardians Galaxy.
They're gonna want to have the Captain Marvel movie out, and then you bring in this character. Just like Space Jesus.
I think what happened was, I mean, I've started to read Infinity Gauntlet.
Okay.
So which is
the original?
Yeah, that's what this is kind of based off of. So I started reading that, and I saw Adam Warlock's kind of got a major part there.
Major. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why Captain Marvel is taking his spot.
Yeah. Maybe. But we'll see. Anyways, so that's what I've been reading, by the way, for those wondering. Plus some other stuff, but we'll get into that later. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, this is weird. Can somebody explain to me how Comcast can still make a bid for Fox?
Because it's not a done deal yet.
So they're still going to try for it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to buy
the
Fox.
idea is that they're going to give them all cash.
Yeah.
$60 billion in cash.
They turned them down already once, and they offered more than Disney.
Yeah, well, that was like another.
Yeah,
this
well,
is
that's
cash money, though.
Yeah.
Right, but you get Disney stock. It's like you gotta weigh: is this cash money right now going to be better in the long term, or is the Disney stock going to be better in the long term?
Well, just take that $60 billion in cash and buy Disney stock. That's what you do.
I don't think it works quite like that, but
no, I'm just saying that's what they're saying now is like how they can try to because obviously their stock is not worth as much. Not obviously, but their stock is not as valuable in the eyes of Fox, executives, whatever, as Disney stock is. So they need to do something that's worth more value right now because obviously cash does not dip unless
Has Comcast had any entertainment properties before?
Oh yeah,
Comcast owns
they own NBC.
What's that?
And Universal.
NBC Universal, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, Universal is the only other brand right now that's actually putting out billion-dollar movies.
Yeah. What's weird is like Fox is acquiring Sky still, aren't they?
Yes.
So
and this whole thing is a contingent on that too, where if they don't acquire Sky, then they're not going to put this cash bid in.
Ah, okay. So that's what Comcast wants. It wants Sky.
Oh yes.
Okay.
But I think they're getting Sky either way. It's just if they do, I mean, not either way, but if they do get Sky, they're going to try to push for Fox as well.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. I don't see it happening. I just think that this whole thing is just a major mess right now.
Yeah,
It's kind of crazy.
last I heard, it was done deal, and
to jump through.
it's going for approval still. It's all pending approval, obviously.
Right, it's pending approval, and that's why these guys are trying to sneak this in before it gets approved.
Wow. Because our government works slowly for monopoly approvals, it
And the thing is, like, Disney taking over Fox would just bring them up to the same level as where Comcast is right now. I mean, as far as like,
yeah, I agree.
Stuff they own and things like that. Like, Disney's not as big as Comcast is.
Yeah, no, I would fear. I mean, Comcast is one of those. Obviously, they're up in the running against EA for the worst hated companies every year, and so just having them purchase something like this would hurt. So
fuck Comcast.
Yeah, essentially.
No, I mean, I don't even like. I don't know what we would gain as viewers if Comcast were to do this, unless like you're really afraid of like losing like the R-rated movies to Disney. I don't even know if like that's a real concern, but there's no real reason why I think anyone would want
like
Comcast to do this.
Wouldn't this like make a foregone conclusion that Hulu would be like absolved if Comcast bought Fox?
Possibly.
They would have the majority.
Yeah, but, so they would just kind of. Why would they keep something that competes with their own network?
Well, maybe they just merge the two things into one.
All right, that's a big reason for this bid, is because Disney wants Hulu. The majority of Hulu.
Yeah, they want that streaming backbone.
Yeah, right, because they can use that to
launch integrate that
or morph into the Disney service.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. There was was something else I wanted to say about this, but I lost it.
All right, sorry. All right, let's see. Last bit, if it comes back, you let me know. Last bit of news we have is Bill and Ted 3 is finally officially happening.
Oh, sorry, what? I do remember.
Okay.
If Comcast gets it, I heard that Marvel still gets the rights to.
Yes. They still does.
X-Men and the Fantastic Four, even if they don't, if Comcast takes over. So just so you guys know, that's
no matter what, they're coming
back.
Because of the contract.
It's the way things
that's
work.
right. Yeah, that's right. Because
that would do it. It would just revert back to them, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So Disney is not completely opposed to this, except for the fact that they really do.
Well, they want that.
Yeah.
It's not just the X-Men.
No, they want that network.
But if Comcast gets all the rights to everything Fox has, does that mean like they could still, within the stipulations of the contract that Disney had with Fox, still, if they release something in time, would that still count or no? Because they're under new ownership.
That's on the lawyers there. Right now, like this is all hearsay as well too. Like we have no idea what's really going on behind the scenes.
We have a lot of that this week, I see.
But back to
yes,
Bill and Ted. Yeah,
Bill and Ted's officially happening. We've been talking about this, I think, for years on this podcast.
Yeah, there was an interview he did for Keanu did John Wick 2 came out, where he's talking about how excited he was about the script.
Yeah,
he's just hoping that it gets made because they're shopping it around.
Yeah, they actually have a title for it. It's called Bill and Ted Face the Music.
You're getting old.
Yep, and so it's in
pre-production.
pre-production.
Get killed off in this.
They'll just come back.
No, they'll be killed off.
Maybe, but
so we could have the next Bill and Ted trilogy with 20-year-olds.
Well, let's go meet the Reaper. Did they hang out with the Reaper?
They played the Reaper to like best 7 out of 3, 5 out of 7 or whatever it was, or 4 out of 7, or maybe a lot more actually. That was a great. I don't know. That movie wasn't so good, but the first one I liked a lot. So the second one now is old enough where it's like campy enough where it's actually funny. So but it's a good movie to have on for like just the hanging around doing nothing, and like just put it on TV. So
is this like the only thing like the guy who's not Keanu Reeves has ever done?
Couldn't even tell you. Like, I know he's been in some other things here and there, but who knows?
This is big for him. Bigger probably for him than anyone else in the world.
God, I'm having a lot of network issues right now, guys. Sorry. I'm getting I'm seeing it on my side, like the latency and stuff jump. So if you guys are okay, but as long as I stay okay, clearly there's a call to Comcast is needed soon. So anyways, we're done with the news there. Bill and Ted, we're good on this. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked on it. So we'll have more as they update. All right, let's get into what we've been up to then. Corey,
I got to watch a couple things.
did you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Well, so I asked you because
Yes,
I watched it. And I was like,
I finished it. I forgot to text you back. I just finished it. Yeah.
Okay. So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm very curious as to the future of Marvel television after this episode.
The creators of the show have gone on record saying that they see what's going on with Thanos as creating a new playground for them. For those who haven't seen the movie,
I thought that was anyway, yeah, I saw that.
For those who haven't seen the movie, we're going to keep it vague here, so don't worry.
Does this episode tie into Infinity War?
Yes, Thanos is mentioned by name.
Oh, really? I wasn't gonna say that, but yes, they say Thanos multiple times in this episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's out of context, so it's not really much of a spoiler for the show.
How do they even learn his name?
That's weird. You'll have to watch the show.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's what I'm not going to spoil it for that. I don't mind.
Puts them way ahead of all of the Avengers before the movie.
Well, and some other names are mentioned in this too. By that name too. So this was a really cool episode, but it makes you go, what are they gonna do?
Yeah. So what now?
Because you can say because you have the Netflix shows that are in production now, like you have Daredevil and Luke Cage are coming out, but you could kind of mess with the timeline there because you don't know when those are occurring. The fact that S.H.I.E.L.D. is now
kind of because they happen after the
first Avengers.
Sure, but it could be.
It could be a week after, like I said.
Yeah, it could be around. Yeah, who knows? It could be any time.
It could be any time.
Did one of the shows also mention Avengers 2? The events.
I think it mentioned Ultron in one of them.
They may. Yeah. This was the most I've heard of a name mentioned from this show. I was like, wait, what? They're basically tying themselves into the timeline. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, it's very much like things that happen in this arc of the show tie directly into things that are happening
directly
in the film.
That's really cool. I'll have to catch up then.
It's very cool, Tony, but it's also what are they going to do? Because if they don't do anything like we hope, then it's kind of a cop out.
Well, I read this one article that said that they're writing it in a way that if they don't get another season, they could still close finale. It all.
Yeah.
But if they do get another season, they're leaving themselves
Just think about that as the
doors.
Finale of the show. Trying to keep it vague here, but think about that as the finale of the show. It'd be are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting though, because we're gonna get Coulson in Captain Marvel too. So you'll have that character, right? But you'll have that character on screen. So is it sending him off on TV and then hey, we'll have him on screen one last time, and then this character's gone? Or are we going to get this character going forward and he come back to the cinema?
He's never going to come back. They already, when they say
he's
Coulson
a beloved
is dead
character
in the MCU, he's dead in the MCU.
But he's back in Marvel.
That was according to Whedon, though. That was according to Whedon, I thought.
I know, but it's in the past for a reason, because he's dead for them now.
We'll see.
Yeah, but the whole next movie deals with time jumping and shit. So.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
The first Avengers?
Well, no, they are refilming those movies. So that's part of what's happening in those films is they're actually reshooting stuff.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool. It's gonna be.
But it's definitely. If you're interested to see this, it actually finally ties in, which is nice.
Yeah. It's just.
I think you bring up an interesting point, Corey. Though is I think this is Infinity War has a clear division with at least the Netflix shows because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. they can write it in a way that every season seems to be a year-ish or so.
As they're going, they're it's not like Netflix is done and everything's written. They're filming the show as it's coming out too.
Yeah. Right, exactly. And with Netflix, the thing is, they write it in a way that what was it all the the individual shows happened over the course of 2 years before we got Defenders, something like that.
Yeah, it's serialized. Isn't it serialized?
So you can't really write it in a way that in between Daredevil season 3 and the Iron Fist season 2, that's when this happens. And they could if they were competent. I don't think that they are. Sorry to say, unfortunately. And not to mention, can you imagine any of the Defenders showing up to challenge Thanos? What were they going to do?
Not even Thanos, man.
What would they do? What would they do? And that's any worse than what Winter Soldier or Black Widow could do, or even Captain America. They're the same level as those characters.
Really?
Yeah.
Really.
Luke Cage
Iron
is probably
Fist is on the same level as Captain America.
He's on the same level as Black Widow or Winter
no,
Soldier
we're
with
talking
his
about-
literal
If
vibranium fist.
Mike, if we're referring to the Netflix show, I would say Iron Fist is not on the competent level of Black Widow.
Oh, that's.
I mean,
I'm
power
talking
level.
I'm pretty sure Black
powers-wise.
Widow could destroy Iron Fist. He's
Shouldn't
terrible.
be able to.
He's
Shouldn't
terrible.
be.
He
He
No, he
lost
shouldn't
that.
be able to. She
He
shouldn't be able
lost
to.
to
No.
his friend's dad, who like had like boxing classes. And it's like, really, bro? Like, really?
Yeah, yeah. All right. So, anyways, Corey, what else did you?
So yeah, watch that, and then I have seen Game Night with Jason
Oh.
Bateman
Oh,
and
cool.
what's her name from Doctor Strange now? Shit, I had it and I lost it.
All right.
You guys know her.
Yeah, go on. Go on.
Which one's in
Um,
that one from Game Night? Which
Girl
Doctor?
that's in Doctor Strange.
Doctor
Go
Strange.
on.
Oh, that. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well,
Rachel McAdams.
That's
Sure.
it, Rachel McAdams. So
Forgot.
I saw Game Night. It's
Everything about Doctor Strange. for a
this
second.
is the these guys are actually going to be doing the Flash movie, and this is kind of a dark comedy about this couple who do game nights with their friends, and then Jason Bateman's brother comes back, and he's like the ideal guy who's trying to be. His brother is like the best person ever in the world, like like the guy that everybody wants to be, all girls want to be with, whatever. So his brother, like Jason Bateman, is having like these like anxiety attack kind of things. Like he can't really. They're trying to have a kid and he can't really perform because he's like his brother's coming to town and he's like, oh, he feels so inferior and he always wanted to be like his brother and beat his brother, and he's very competitive. So they have this game night. So he comes over and they do this game night, and then the brother says, oh, let's do a game night at my house. It's gonna be the best one ever. And meanwhile, he shows up in like his Jason Bateman's like dream car as a kid, and he's like, this guy's doing everything he can to like make my life shit and like talk down to me and all that kind of shit. So they go to his house to do this game night, and he's like, oh, we're not doing a board game. We're gonna do this like mystery murder thing where someone's getting kidnapped and we gotta find them. Whoever finds them wins this car that I just drove in. And so now they're like, oh, we gotta win this game because we want this car. And then it turns out like two guys come and actually kidnap the brother outside of the game because it turns out he's like a smuggler or some shit. And so now like they think it's a game even though it's real. And then there's like all these other twists that go on. So it's kind of like dark because it's like people are getting kidnapped and it's like these mobsters and stuff like that. But then it's like also funny because of the situations they get themselves in. And the one couple, they're playing to waste some time. They're playing like Never Ever Ever. And when somebody says Never Ever Ever slept with a celebrity, and one chick drinks, and he's like, wait, what? And then the other guy's like, they've been together since middle school. And so then the whole like side story goes on with them trying to figure out that whole thing. But it was actually pretty funny, and I could see why it did as well as it did. I think it was a surprise in the box office.
Yeah, it was.
But it's an R-rated comedy, so
It
there's a lot of swearing and
good. It was funny. It has funny moments though, right? Legitimately.
it's pretty funny. It was worth watching. Definitely not something that I'd probably like go out and purchase or anything like that, but a Redbox for sure.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Anything else?
That and Agent Shield. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm actually really liking. I haven't finished yet, but I really like the Lost in Space Netflix show.
Yeah, it's good. I'm on episode 4 now of that. But
Did we talk about this? I know I mentioned Discord.
what?
Did I mention the
robot
the tweets
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sexy
did we
robot?
talk about this on?
We didn't
on
talk about this.
No, we didn't talk
yeah,
about
so
this.
I have to talk about this because it's just so fascinating. Because I didn't even know this show was coming out until literally, Jim, you mentioned it on the podcast, and then just a couple days later, I see Netflix official Twitter account going, "Y'all need Jesus," and it's this clip showing stuff from the new Lost in Space thing, and it goes, when we were making this and we were releasing this, we had hoped to get people on board and happy and good reactions, but not like this, and it just goes to like copy and like edits of all these tweets about how all these like people, mostly women, but I think some men, are just like, yo, that robot is hot. It's like, why do I find this robot hot and stuff like that? And it's just like, are you serious? And like that's all of it. And then they just like end with like some close-ups of the robot. And then later, like a day later, BioWare retweets it and goes, same fam, same, or something like that. And I'm just like,
Welcome to
Yep.
the club or something like that.
yeah, welcome to the club, something like that. It's like, yep. It's like, yeah.
Wow.
We live in that
Yeah.
continuity, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Tony, what have you been watching? Not much.
Nothing.
Mike.
Playing games.
I'm still behind, but I watched like one more episode of Legion. It's still going pretty well. It's same type of thing though. It's not like there's no big tonal shift. I guess it's just weird and interesting.
Yeah.
No, that's what you're looking for.
That's yeah. I have I've saved the best for last. I've said it here quiet, like antsy to talk about what I've watched. Like I've never been this excited to talk about a show that I've watched.
Barry.
Huh?
Is it Barry?
Is it Barry?
No.
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
It has to deal with a cobra and
Cobra Kai.
karate.
All right.
Yeah, so I watched Cobra Kai. I'm not done yet. I have one episode left. I couldn't finish it. I did start yesterday.
I think I have a trial for YouTube.
Yeah,
but...
I waited until this came out because they kept offering it to me on YouTube, and I'm like, nope. It's only a month long, so I waited, and then I signed up for it. I actually did it this morning because the first 2 episodes are free on YouTube.
Right.
They kind of hook you with it because they filmed this show exactly. It's got the same pacing as a Netflix, so it's like it's binge. It's exactly like it is because they know they filmed it this way. They can they shoot each episode in sequence like that, so it's like it's just amazing. So I love this show. And
Really?
I'm biased because I'm a huge fan of this movie. Obviously, my friend Nick is.
Well, it could be like the opposite though, because you're a huge fan, like you might hate this.
No, this is legitimately a great show. I don't think, and I've seen people talking about it actually on social media saying they were not a fan. They never even saw the first Karate Kid or and they love this series. They actually got the trial and watched it, and they love the show. It's amazing how well it's done. Like I was like, this is going to be stupid when I watched the trailers, and I'm like, it's legitimately like got some actual like emotional beats to it too, and it's a comedy. Yeah, it's a comedy mixed into it too, because you have like, it's about obviously Johnny Lawrence, who lost to Daniel LaRusso in the movie, and they constantly flash. They show movie sequences, the whole like a lot mixed into this.
A couple of the trailers made like Daniel's son to be kind of a jerk.
Yeah, he's like,
well, it's a role reversal.
hey, this is the guys whose ass you kicked, right? Nah, technically, I kicked him in the face.
Yeah, that whole sequence was awesome, and they even like reference like what people were trying to talk about when that movie came out, how it was like an illegal kick. They talk about that in this, but
it's not.
it's basically this movie. The show so far feels like a movie, but it's about like a role reversal. Like it really is. It's Cobra Kai. It's about like him starting. Johnny Lawrence trying to make something of his life now because he's got nothing, and he finds a kid who is getting beat up by these other kids, and he jumps in and saves him, kind of similar to Mr. Miyagi, and the kid wants him to train him in karate, and so that's kind of what happens. He kind of takes him on as a pupil, and he wants to reestablish the Cobra Kais. Yeah. And they have Daniel LaRusso and his family in this, and it intertwines really cool. Like, and there's some like, I really don't know what they're doing because, Daniel LaRusso is kind of a dick in this, but he's not a bad guy. Like he's misunderstanding how things are. He obviously has.
Elizabeth Shue's not in this, huh?
She's referenced constantly. Allie is referenced constantly, and they show like her scenes from the old movies, yeah. But like it has like all these like beats that like you can see like the mistakes being made, but you also do realize why Daniel has an issue with Cobra Kai because he's traumatized as a kid. Like he doesn't want to have this group come back because they were bullies, and he doesn't want them in society. So it's like about like kind of understanding that, and it's interesting. It's really cool like what they're doing with the story. I thought it's a great idea, and it's really well written, and the acting is excellent. It's not overdone. It's
that's good.
Really good.
Well, they definitely got. As long as you have those guys, like if they did like a Karate Kid sequel, like with some chick and Mr. Miyagi teaching some chick, that would just be the worst thing ever. I don't know.
Yeah, I just I agree. I never really liked that movie.
You could call it like the next Karate Kid and still be terrible.
Yeah, they don't even reference that whatsoever in this.
Interesting. So, what now that this is successful, what would you think about like them doing like short, TV series about other like classic 80s movies like Back to the Future.
It would be really cool the way that I mean, I was very
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, God, that would be awesome. I'm serious. Like, you definitely. Oh, they should watch. It's 26 minutes an episode. Sometimes they're 32, but the first 2 episodes are like 26 minutes, and there's no commercials.
Like they plaster it on YouTube. You don't even have to look for it.
Yeah, you just go on YouTube and you can watch those 2 episodes. And if you're not hooked by the end of the second episode, then don't go on. But you will.
Yeah, that's the idea. Is give you the first taste for free, and then they hook you.
Yeah, it's
cool.
And for me, being a fan of the
I'm glad. I was afraid to watch it too, just because I was a fan. I was having this opposite reaction where I was like, I don't want to like tarnish my memory of these movies.
It's not a tarnishment. It's an enhancement of those.
That's good to hear. Tim.
It's unbelievable that I can't believe it. Like, I cannot believe that they made it. And it's good.
And the body bag.
I mean, they reference all of these characters. They really do.
Sweep the leg.
Yep.
So thing I was worried about that too a little bit, is where it's like, all right, are they just gonna like do flashbacks the whole time and just like make me just rather watch the movie instead?
it makes me excited for that. But what they're doing, but they're kind of referencing in a way that parallels what they're showing you in a new way. But
that's great. Great to hear.
Yeah,
glad it's doing well.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Besides Shield, so. That's it for me.
I heard that it's more news thing real quick, because I mentioned Barry and I really wanted to watch that, and it's on HBO. But I heard Westworld is like dropping ratings like crazy.
I only watched the first episode. I didn't watch episode 2 yet of Westworld. So
like a huge drop off apparently.
Yeah. Oh wow! I mean, that's shocking because the first season was so good. I didn't even hate the first episode of season 2. I just haven't watched it yet because I get sidetracked and there's a lot of backlog of shows I have to watch. So. All right. I think that's going to wrap up 394 of the Moviecast. If you have any questions or comments, write us podcast@allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, AllYouCanGeek, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tune in to the Gamecast coming up next, and next week to the next Moviecast.